Alright, are you sick of seeing Cashew teams? No, me neither. So let's look at this one, which I recorded back in February, and for some reason I just didn't upload it, even though it's one of my favourite builds that I've made recently. So yeah, make sense of that one if you can. So this is a build that involves another relatively new perk, which came out with Danger Pack, and that is White Truffle. So you can see the two of them in the shop there. White Truffle's tier 3, Cashew's tier 1. And by combining these two perks together, we can make something pretty unusual happen, which, otherwise would not be possible. So we get the Kakapo on the level up here. That's one of the pets that we need. There's another tier 4 that we're also going to need, which is Hawk. You probably could come up with something similar to this that uses other pets. You don't have to use Hawk. I think Kakapo is pretty essential for what I want to achieve. We'll take the rice and then we get the level up. Yeah, so I take the level up on turn 6 purely to try and get the Hawk, or I guess another Kakapo would have also been fine. A bit late for the bubble tea there. So yeah, the concept here was to try and guarantee that a Hawk snipes the backline unit and knocks it out. Now, it's not going to be possible to do that every time, but I think there are a few things you can do to make it a bit more realistic. So we actually buy the Hawk and then immediately put Cashew on it, because ultimately the Hawk is going to end up in a different spot in the team, and it's going to be the one that activates the Cashew nut knockout, which is generally what causes all the crazy interactions with Cashew. So we take an early level up as well. I guess I'm not too bothered about tier 6s. And then will we get rid of the Clownfish here? No. And then another Crow and Hawk. I don't need to have Hawk level 3, but I think to give myself the best chance of getting the clips I want, level 3 is going to help make that happen. So another win there. I mean, Kakapo is obviously just a very good unit in general, but normally you would be playing it at the front of a team. And in this case, it's not going to be at the front, but for good reason. So the Hawk damage, I mean, Hawk is one of those units that I think it falls off quite a bit later on. But throughout the mid-game, usually it's just killing stuff, like outright, even with only a 7 damage snipe. So here's the level 3. And I'll take another blobfish. We didn't actually technically need a higher level Kakapo, but I guess when you're bringing up pets from the earlier turns and you don't really have anything else to do, I mean, the stats on the units aren't super important in this one either. Going for the levels is just automatic. So I think we're going to win again. Yep. And what are we looking for? Looks like I'm just going to greed and go for the level up. Yeah, we've got 9 wins, turn 11. So the game is almost over and we don't have the combo set up yet. So yeah, I think I'm going to rearrange such that hopefully the Hawk sniping 4th position is not going to be as effective as sniping in the front. And what's it going to hit? Yeah, it actually ends up hitting the backline unit instead of the 4th position unit. That doesn't seem right to me, but I guess the Hawk mechanics are a little bit odd with the 4 squad. And we're going to lose, so that's fine. I mean, we didn't want to win. So we've got the pill. I'll freeze the pill bug as well. Take the level 3. And actually I should freeze the... I guess actually there, yeah, I was about to say I should freeze White Truffle, but actually I made that exact mistake in a previous video, that if we pill with a White Truffle on board, the White Truffle disappears. So we're actually just going to change the team around. Mammoth is going to be the pet that gets knocked out by Cashew. We're obviously not going to see the combo this round. Although the cashew nut does break the melon on the behemoth. Back-to-back Nyala teams. So definitely another loss. I think we probably would have easily won there if we didn't have a 3 squad. So now we need a couple of units to fill out the team, plus we also need the white truffle. So I think I actually just roll down here. There we go, we get the white truffle. And you can see like the partial version of this team without the last 2 members, which are frozen in the shop. The hawk is going to knock out the mammoth in the before battle phase. The kakapo activates and then pushes all the units to the backline, and that happens before battle. There you could see that the tuna actually got one shot by the hawk. However, unfortunately, it didn't work out in that particular one because the tuna then gave a bunch of stats to the other unit. So now we'll see the lineup working a bit better, I think. The bison gets put to the back line and then instantly sniped by the level 3 hawk. And it's a tie. Probably would have been better to have a higher level mammoth before we pilled it, but it doesn't actually matter too much. You don't really need to maximize the ability of the pet that's being fainted. So here again, the kakapo knocks itself out. The backline unit gets one shot by the hawk. And it's another draw. So having gone from having 4 hearts, we're now tying every game and getting further and further into the danger zone where even though we have an activation before battle, it's probably not going to be good enough against a lot of teams. And then look at this one. This is another sort of draw squad. The badger gets pushed to the back, the hawk snipes it, and then it has an unfortunate accident where the hedgehog knocks it out, and we actually win. So very funny team in my opinion, and I was really pleased to get a victory with that one. So we'll take a look at another run, similar type of build, exact same concept. This time I've got level 2 mammoth, and I think I'm going to end up taking the wolverine here. Don't ask me why leopard was in this pack, but we'll pill the mammoth now. And of course, cashew nut actually counts as a hurt, so that means that the wolverine will already be on 1 hurt before battle begins. We should turn the rhino to stone here. Yep. Although that wouldn't have actually happened, I don't think, if they had the setup correct, because it would have been moved to the back line before the basilisk actually gets to activate. So now we're just looking for white truffle. We don't get it. We do get a mushroom though, so I think I'm not going to pass that up. We have 3 hearts, so I'm willing to lose a round in order to get mushroom onto the mammoth. It's funny here as well where we have a 1 HP unit, but the dolphin doesn't get the chance to snipe it because it gets knocked out before battle, which is pretty unusual. But this is going to be another tie. So mushroom the mammoth, now we just need the white truffle. And actually, yeah, I shouldn't buy the kakapo until we get the white truffle. For a second there I thought I was looking for a cashew, but no, we're looking for a white truffle, there it is. So this is the setup now. The mammoth gets knocked out, triggers the white truffle in the before battle phase, and the kakapo usually knocks itself out, and then pushes everything to the back for the hawk to snipe. So here is actually a porcupine which returns fire against the hawk. But I still think we're going to tie again. Not quite enough stats on the wolverine there. I think a lot of these games, watching them back, you can see what a difference it would make to have, specific equipment on the units that are not important for the combo. Like any protective equipment or stake or whatever on wolverine would have been incredible there. Here we actually hit the whale shark, which absorbs the ailment, but then still gets knocked out by the hawk anyway. Okay, am I going to take mushroom on? Yeah, we're just double checking which equipment we have. I think these days it's probably better to just take cornucopia or starfruit in every pack, but sometimes it becomes incredibly frustrating where you want the mushroom and you can't find it, and you waste a bunch of gold. But here's another great one where the hawk, the falcon gets pushed to the back and gets instantly sniped by the hawk. Level 3 Kappa, we get the double camel, and it's another tie. So I think you can tell that this team could probably have benefited from some kind of other additional summon as well. Obviously, having the hawk in the back line means that we have to have Cashew Nut at the back. I suppose we could have also had the unit being fainted. Instead of having Mammoth, it could have easily been Turtle or Terrapin. And this one actually has White Ochre, but it doesn't make any difference because the stats on the River Dolphin weren't high enough. So I think this time we are going to win. But now we're on turn 20. And in the olden days, getting to turn 20 with a team like this, there was just absolutely no hope of winning whatsoever. Because you would also face a lot of draw teams as well. But here on turn 20, we face Broken Bench going for the achievement with the Young Phoenix. It's absolutely massive because of the Quetzalcoatl scaling. And we're actually going to lose. So, yeah. Not ideal. Broken Bench has ruined a fair few builds in the past. But at least in that case was going for the unusual achievement of the Phoenix. And then unfortunately here on turn 21, you can see exactly why I didn't bother using this as the main run. Because this was at the point where once you reached turn 21, every single team was a ghost. And I don't think it was possible to actually face any human opponents, even if they actually were in the pool. I think that has since been corrected. But I was a bit disappointed when I had this run where I had so many good rounds where the combo worked. And then we just end up facing these nonsensical ghost teams. Admittedly, the ghost teams these days are nowhere near as weak as they used to be. So I have had some games where I've lost to them. But yeah, there's just not the same sense of satisfaction if you beat a ghost team. And yeah, I think this one we are going to comfortably win. Yeah, we only had 14 health left, but we had a pretty awkward combo and it was turn 22. So yeah, I think without a ghost, there was no chance of a victory there.